Hi guys, it's Laura from Live Every Day Like It's Your Birthday. So, welcome. Today I want to cover what it's like to do your own at-home beaded in weft hair extensions. Or I guess they call them hand-tied occasionally. Whatever new age title putting in weft hair extensions at home means to you. So guys, let's just dive right into it. I'm Laura from Live Every Day Like It's Your Birthday. I like to bring you videos that tell you how to live everyday celebrations like every day is your birthday. I believe that doing at-home hair extensions, if you have the ability, the talent, and the gift, is something that I believe I can teach almost anyone. So let it begin. Today I was in the shower and I was literally Bloody Marying up my hands. And I know this looks insane, so I can't believe I did this 3 days before my birthday. 3 days. But I had taken out my hair extensions. So I had taken out my hair extensions and I had given them a fresh dip of color and a permanent chemical straightening treatment. So that can be another video if you guys are interested in how to treat your own hair extensions. This is insane. I believe that every woman deserves to feel like the best possible version of herself, and I would like to give that to you at home feet. So the first thing that you're going to need, other than some serious go-getter attitude and rotator cuff strength, is you are going to need your rows of hair. So we'll go grab those in a minute. 2, you're going to need a tail comb. 3, you're going to need clips. 4, you're going to need metal, the rounded beads. I'll show you those. 5, you're going to need the loopy tool. And 6, you're going to need more patience than you ever had in your whole life. So let's get it started. Hello. Okay, so I put a little bit of, you can't really tell, but a little red, like it's just red tinted conditioner. So I just wanted to switch up. If you're, ladies, if your hair extensions are looking dingy and dull and lifeless, you can kind of restore some of that life by thinking about how each strand of hair is individually like a drinking straw. So if your hair is lacking luster, then each one of your drinking straws, aka each one of your strands of hair, is lacking nutrients. So if you want to fill that straw back up, make it look lustrous, full, shiny, you can always just add color, adding color. That same is not for blonde. Blonde is taking away, it's the absence of life, it's bleach. But if you're going to deposit molecules, I thought I'd have a little fun. This is kind of, so I've put on some serious red. I'm kind of gotten out of this phase of my life, but I thought that I would just do this since my birthday's in a couple of days. So it rinses off, but this was like a blondish tint that was sort of dingy and dull. So it made it really bright and gave it a little shine and juice that I was looking for my at-home hair extension install. Hi guys. Okay, so now I'm in my bathroom. So sorry, the lighting's kind of funk, but what I'm going to do is hit my funny bone that's not funny on my shower. So you're going to take, here's my hair. This is my hair without hair extensions. Okay, so sorry about I'm moving. So again, this is just live every day like it's your birthday. You get to see my real life. So I'm in the process of moving, but I still want to take care of myself, and I think that's hugely important. I think that women should put themselves first. So here's my hair just to start. So then I'm just gonna clip up about half of it, a little less than that. And clip. Okay, so, and I'm using my favorite flat iron, and I'm actually going to put this on my link tree, because honestly, this flat iron changed my life. It's the Bioionic 10 times. So I love this. It oscillates. If you don't know what oscillating means, it means it shakes each one of your hair strands back and forth and seals the cuticle into the style. So as you see, I'm just put a little heat protectant on my ends, whatever you prefer. A little hair serum to seal that cuticle. And I'm doing what's called a rough flat iron. I'm not doing an intricate comb by comb flat iron job. I actually do not want to completely straighten the hair up by the roots, because for me, I find that it makes that hair a little harder as a Caucasian woman for that to hang on to, for the bead to hang on to. So we'll get to like my install tips and tricks here in a minute on how to make that stick a little better. but you can automatically make it stick a little better if you just leave a little tack at the root. If you are going to flat iron all the way up to your roots like this, then we'll simply go back through and spray your roots with a little bit of just any hairspray, any sort of tacky hairspray before we lay the track. And I'll show you that kind of smooths down the flyaways and gives it a home base pad as well. So we're just going to go through the hair. Like I said, this is just a rough flat iron. If you see, this is like, I'm not trying to make my hair pin straight. It's not 2006 kind of hair. I like a lot of volume. I don't have much hair. That's why we do hair extensions. So I'm just going to go through and I am going to rough flat iron the ends, leaving the meat pretty much undone because my hair is pretty healthy there. If your hair is unruly, if it is not smooth, if it's, you know, if you don't get greasy roots, if you're not like basic white girl shit, then you are going to want to flat iron all the way up to the root. My hair just gets greasy up by the roots, and making that straightener and shiny is not going to give that bead anything to hang on to. So we'll start there. After Party is a product that I swear by. No matter what kind of hair texture you have. I've been using this product on the professional circuit since 2005. This is an OG. So After Party is a weightless. I use about I work in chocolate chip size increments. So we're going to start with 2 chocolate chip size increments. Lightly disperse that on your fingertips. And about mid flat iron, I'm going to go through my ends and lightly tip the ends of that, focusing in my most fried spots, which is that hair right around the face that gets all that exposure, starting on the ends, working your way to the inside, never, ever, ever getting to the roots. If you'll see what that does, it kind of just seals down the cuticle, takes away the flyaways, but it makes it ultra silky. I can't really explain what this product does. There's no other products like it, and I don't want anyone to try to tell me otherwise, because I've been doing hair for the hair like for the last 2 presidents, so I think I know. So step 2, now we are in a rough flat iron. So, and you can go around, I might like go around my face and do a couple more pieces, but really you're going to do your final flat iron once you get your hair in. And I want to have some of that natural tack. Like I said, any smoother and you're going to become so shiny white girl, your beads aren't going to have anywhere to stick. So now that we've done that, we're going to I want to place my lowest row like low, like right around your neckline. So you do want to leave out a row to cover that up for when you put your hair up in a ponytail. But to me, like, I don't really care. You're probably going to see my tracks anyway. It is how much you care. So there's ways you can hide them better than others. But I think 20 years into the game, I just don't care. I don't want them like showing like crazy. But if you lay that last lower one, probably about right here. And I don't have eyes on the back of my head. So the install is not going to be like perfectly straight. I'm teaching you how to do this yourself at home. So we're going to do 3 or 4 rows. This is going to be row 1. Okay. Step 1. Okay. So step 1, I've used bobby pins. I'm just taking a couple, and I've pinned this in. So see, I've made a line, and I went like this, and I'm just laying it, literally like laying it against that line, okay, like where my hair is parted. I know it's gonna look crazy. I don't care because I can't see the back of my head. I literally just need it to stay in there. Nobody's gonna see this. Okay. Step 1, I'm parting there. So cool, I got a stain. That was fun. I was taking some magnesium, so that'll be in another episode. So if you're a woman over the age of 30, we're gonna have a chat about magnesium. That's a separate conversation. It gives me patience. It calms. I have some finger nerve issue damage. So anyway, magnesium. Love to over-explain. ADHD traits. So I wanted to do a couple of these to make sure that this was actually holding in my hair before I showed you. I haven't looked at any of this. I haven't looked at the part line because I don't care. I've had these on my head a million different times. Nobody's going to see them. I'm just showing you how you can do this at home. This is definitely not like the cleanest, prettiest, most professional method, but it's going to get it on your head and keep it there for a couple weeks. So as you see, basically what I've done, if you can see, is I took bobby pins and I anchored it along that line, right? So then to get it to stay on my head, basically what I do is I find the sew line. I'm going to go, the ends are the most important to anchor in the first. So I'm going to grab a little bit of hair. This is going to look crazy. I'm going to grab a little bit of hair above the extension track, okay? Above. Then I'm going to reach underneath the extension track, and I'm going to reach for some hair that I'm certain is attached to my head, which is hard to do on that bottom layer because you didn't leave much hair probably. So this should be my hair, but in case it's not, reach for an extra little piece. You don't want any of those real little fucking pieces. There. Now I have a piece of my hair above the track and below the track. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my looper tool, my beads. The track is in between. This is the go team go. You're going to go like this, slide the bead. Sometimes it's too much hair. This one's a little too much hair. So go to the end. And you slide it on. So see, now we have the track in between the bead. The track is in between those two beads being held like a sandwich. Here's your track, bead, hair. It goes through the track. You slide the bead on and you trap the track. You then pinch the track shut. You want to put these, if you're going to do them like this, like extremely low. So I actually think I put 2 beads on, which you can pinch one off. I think I'm going to have to. But you're going to do that and you're going to anchor down a couple points and I'll come back and show you. Okay, so this is some real rookie shit. So you're going to see where my rough hair stops and the silky part like starts. Right? It like looks crazy. That's fine. Leave it alone. So now, like we'll go back and fix it. Chill. So now it's gonna look crazy. You have to trust me. So now I've made my next part. You want to leave a very, very, very small gap if you have thin hair. Ladies, if you have thin hair, you need to leave a very small gap of hair in between each rows. But it has to be big enough that you can grab those pieces of hair underneath the weft and then again above. Now what happens is a lot of times when you're doing these yourself or when somebody is doing an install traditionally is they miss space. Their thought, their train of thought miss spaces where your weft should be, and then all of a sudden you have a track showing at the very, very top of your head, which will cause a. Now those are the tracks I care about showing. If you have like a little piece here and there, it's kind of like, okay, well, sorry, that's why I have hair extensions. It's because I can. You might be able to see them, but for some reason, personally on me, it really deeply troubles me when you can see that woman all the time when their hair parts, if it's greasy, a little bit dirty, and it shows that top track. I can't deal with that, so I start my placement as low as I possibly can. Now this is my second row. As you see, there's a really small gap of hair in between my bottom row. Can you see? And that. So, like, very little hair. So now I'm going to take my next row, which is my big row. Now, this is my big row. We're about to find out in real life time if we're going to continue to leave this as 1 or if we're going to turn this into 2. I'll tell you, thin-haired ladies, you don't have room for the rows you need. Straight up. If I cut this into 2, like I might have to, my fear is that we're going to end up with that top track showing, because I only have so much of the back of my head to hide these. You think you have a lot of room to hide these, you don't. You don't have nearly. So my goal with this one is to go all the way around the head. So this has been pretty fitted to my head. Now I'll be honest, I think with this one, I might cut. The smaller the anchor of the track, the harder it is to capture it against your head. The bigger the weft, the easier it is to anchor it down and get it to stay, because it's attached to more anchor places. When you start trying to bead on weft little chunks of hair, around the head, dink, 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 it's only anchored down then by 2 or 3 beads, versus a big, huge weft across your head is probably anchored in by 7, 8, 9, 5, at least beads. So that's why keeping it in one big weft piece is crucial, if at all possible. I have a really narrow, tiny head. So my weft track that has been cut, it's on its last leg. Okay, this is my birthday weft. You leave me alone. But it's why it's gonna go right here and snugly lay that, and then I'm gonna bead it to my head. So we'll be back when we start placing the beads. Okay, so now I have this second row pinned, and as you see, it doesn't, it's not gonna wanna stay, because when I'm white, it's kinda I don't have hair above it to grab. But again, that's why we did that rough flat iron job, so your roots had some tack still to them, because so we pinned it down on the line, and you're gonna notice right around the face, I do kind of bring up, I sort of scoop my up and around. You can lay your tracks around your head in a U shape like this, kind of coming up but down, because you have more space in the back right than on the sides, so you can kind of come up with your tracks. And then, like I said, it's really important to get those ends anchored in tight, 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 tight. So I am going to start with the anchors right now, on each side, pulling this as tight as I can and anchoring one here and then one here. And then I slowly work my way towards the middle. And sometimes I do put in one anchor, 1, 2, 3, and then work in between those 3 anchor points. Okay, we'll come back when I'm done with row 2, step 2. Okay, guys, so I kind of got into a groove and I just kept it moving. But I figured since I showed you how to do the first one, it's literally just the same thing all the way up the head. So you're going to leave 1, you have to leave spaces in between rows. 2, you need to leave as small of spaces as possible. Sorry to size, I have something stuck on my lip. My lips are super dry. So I'm not going to do this retake. The last thing I'll tell you is, well, obviously the ends got really red. But this is how it goes. So if you look at that, piece of hair above, piece of hair below, you match them, you put the bead, you slide, you pinch. You walk your way around the whole head, and you do it, and then you kind of curve the ends of the band up along the sides of the face when you put those in. But this is my finished project. I'm pretty happy with it. Your main goal is you want to have plenty of hair right here in that back section to cover up any tracks and to weigh it down. With this method, especially if you have thin hair, it's going to pop up the weft and you're going to see where it's hanging out on your head. So you just need to leave a huge patty right in the back to hang over it. But hopefully this helps you live every day like it's your birthday and do some at-home sew-in hair extensions with weft. If you have any questions, holler at your girl. Check out my link tree for the products I used and sign up to live every day like it's your birthday.